today I will create 3 MOCs. Let's start off with the prequels.
The first MOC I'll be creating was the one from the opening scene in the Clone Wars animated TV show, and it's going to be the battle in the jungle. Now that I've got all my base plates up, I'm going to start building the rock foundation we see up there, and I'll spread some clones out down there. These will be the 3 rock pieces that I'm going to work with to build up the foundation for the droid. Even though I completely obliterated the top, I finally finished what I think is the most accurate representation. Now I know you can see like so many caps on this, but this is what pieces I had and I think it best accurately captures that. And just stick around until I put some droids on the top, but we've got to still build the clone side of things. And let me tell you, that's just going to look a lot better. Before we move on to the next part, this is originally what I wanted the MOC to look like. As you can see, it was meant to have a big building for the droids there, and a bit of grassy areas, which we're going to do now, and place some clones down there. I know some of you have definitely seen the 212 Troopers and the Scanner and you're like, why have you added this? Well, I don't have any more 501st Troopers, so I just thought to buff up the clones, I'd put some 212 Troopers in and the Scanner to make it look like there are more clones than there already are. And over here I'm going to have to make another compromise, unfortunately, which is, you know how the clones came in the gunships in that really cool opening scene? Well, I don't have any gunships, so I'm just going to sacrifice that for an ATTE, which were actually also seen in this movie, so I hope that makes up for it. This is the finished MOC. We've got the clones here coming in through the jungle under heavy fire from the droids up here. I know the ATT looks so massive in this battle. That's mostly because I couldn't get this rock formation piece to be any bigger. And I've added lots of small little details, foliage, some weird plants which we saw, and again some other rock kind of details that are hidden throughout. And I recreated some scenes with the droids up here on the top. And I just had to recreate that scene where one droid took a massive L and took lots of fall damage. But yeah, this is the overall MOC, and we've got 2 more to go, so let's get into that. So another snowy planet is Hoth, and we're now going to build that. We're going to begin to build Hoth, and I'll be using these 2 base plates, one white and one grey. The reason I have grey is so that I can have a part of the rebel base, just the outside, and maybe some shield generators. Then at the back I'm going to be placing some rocks and some white pieces to give it the snowy effect. So with that set, let's get building. Now I've got all the rocks laid out, I'm going to build some of the rebel base using some white and brown pieces, and then I'm going to start working on some terrain for our rebel troopers and some snow troopers. So off camera I decided to build this, and it's going to be to make sure the Tauntauns don't escape, so it'd be like essentially a bit of a holding cell, and I'm going to place one of the brick built Tauntauns there. And then I've also found this medical droid type of figure, so I decided just to place this here randomly walking around, and to make it feel a bit more creepier like we saw in the movies, I'm going to place this broken wall there with a spider, and I might actually include some more spider webs and a real spider, and I decided just to place this gate over here for the medical droid to enter there. So all that's left to do now is place the Tauntaun there, work a bit more on the terrain, place an AT-AT up there, some snow troopers down here, and some rebels fighting the snow troopers over there, and I hope that works out quite good. So I decided to put the speeder up on top of the rocks. I know it looked a bit unrealistic, but that's to make way for my massive AT-AT. And I know it's so big, so I'm going to have to change a couple of things. So I was unfortunately unable to find my Tauntaun, so I decided to place some crates with like rare gems in them as a compromise, and this Luke Skywalker will finally complete my mock. I'm just going to put him underneath the AT-AT. I'll sort that out later. And this is my final mock. We have the rebels defending their sides, trying to hold out with very little forces remaining. There's a couple battery packs left over and an ion turret. The other rebels in the base were lucky to abandon it, only leaving this poor medical droid, and it's the bunch of gold down here. And we have a ton of Imperial forces completely overwhelming the poor rebels down here. I've got a big AT-AT up here, I've got a small speeder down there, an ion turret there, a couple snowtroopers hidden behind the AT-AT, and just a couple here running up front. And behind there, you can see Luke Skywalker. I'm really proud of how this mock turned out, but you have to stay tuned for the next mock. It's going to take us all the way to the sequel trilogy, and let me just tell you, it's going to be the best one of this video. Alright then, I'm going to create the best scene in Star Wars. Oh my god, I've created a masterpiece. In all seriousness though, it is technically accurate to the movie, but yeah, I just wanted to add this last one as just a really fun thing that I thought would go well in this video. So remember to comment down below what you think was your favourite out of all these mocks. My personal one is definitely this one, but anyways, I'll see you in the next one.